Hi guys, welcome to Everything Arsenal. We are here live to talk about Zinchenko. The deal has already been agreed. This has been done very, very quickly. Like yesterday, we were talking about Arsenal being interested in Zinchenko, and now the deal is already done. And personal terms, as I've just said in the video, personal terms, I'm expecting them to be done as quickly as possible. That won't take too much time. That's in terms of salary, in terms of weekly wages, yes, and then of course in terms of how long his contract is going to be. All that I'm expecting it to be as quick as possible. But Zinchenko's deal has been agreed according to Fabrizio Romano. Arsenal and Manchester City have now reached verbal agreement in principle of Oleksandr Zinchenko, fee around 30 million. Personal terms are still discussed, or still being discussed. And also, it goes on to say, let me just remove that from screen. It also goes on to say, salary and length of contract in negotiation, key step to complete the agreement. Now, that's why I don't expect it to be too bad or too hard to do. Usually, what is hard to do is to agree the fee with the team. After you've agreed the fee, personal terms, I usually can never see a team agreeing everything with the team that is selling. Like we agree the fee, we agree everything with the agents, we agree everything, and then just one thing about salary brings the problems. Usually, it rarely happens after you've agreed 70% of the stuff. The other 30% is easier to do, and that is what this deal is all about. Oleksandr Zinchenko is about to become an Arsenal player. So the question I have for you guys right away is, this is a guy who can play several positions. Which is the one position you'd really want to see Zinchenko playing? Which is the one position you'd really want to see Oleksandr Zinchenko playing for Arsenal? That is according to Fabrizio Romano. We are getting this guy done as quickly as possible. I remember like a month ago when you were signing Fabio Vieira and Jesus and all those guys, we were doing it very, very quickly. One day, Fabio Vieira announces the Arsenal deal. We announced the Arsenal deal. And then the next day, he's in for a medical. The next day, Jesus is coming in. This reminds me of Arsenal 1 month ago. We are doing deals very, very quickly. I know it's sad that we didn't get Lisandro Martinez. It's not a matter of he decided to join Man United because Man United is a better team than Arsenal or anything like that. It's just because of his former manager mostly. And for us as well, I do agree that these players are attracted to Arsenal mostly because they've worked with that before, especially Zinchenko. He's been with that before, same with Jesus, and that definitely helps the deal. And what you're trying to do with the playing style that you're trying to achieve with the 4-3-3, players like this can definitely help. By the way, let me know if you guys can hear me well, and then I'll come to your comments right away. Oleksandr Zinchenko, that's the latest news on him. Let me see what you guys are saying. Morning to you, Promise. Good one at Mikel Atitamo. Good signings. You need more trophies. Someone the other day was saying Arsenal will not sign any more players. We are slow. No, I still expect us to sign 6 to 7 players, and we've now signed 3. Zinchenko will be the 4th one. I've not added much time into that because you're signed in January. So even after this, I'd still expect another 2 signings. Hopefully, it's the one that you want. So I really, really want to see. If we complete the Tielemans deal, I'll be 100% ready for next season. 100%. That is from Liner saying we need more trophies. Great news, my good people, says Simon. Hello, my fellow Arsenal fans, says Samuel. Isaac. Isaac is happy. I'm very happy as well. Segun. Great news all the way, man, says John. And then where it says good signing. So let me know, which position would you want to see Zinchenko playing for us? Which position do you think we need him most? Because he can play like 4 different roles in that team. And he also captains his country, so that definitely helps. That 100% helps him being a captain for his country, and that experience he gains from Man City. Like, as I've always said the last 1 week, anyone who's coming from Man City, I'd 100% take. Like, those guys just have been winning everything the last 5 years, let's be honest. They got to 100 points in the Premier League. I think they got to 98 or 99. They've won the titles like the way Liverpool has been playing the last 3 years so well, but Man City have still managed to win those Premier League titles. That shows you the mentality they have over there. The players who've been playing around the likes of De Bruyne, manager under Guardiola, very, very good. Like, coming from Man City, any player coming from Man City, I definitely take. And it kind of seems that we have a very good relationship with Man City, which is good. They're the best team in the Premier League, so having a good relationship with them is great. Like Jesus deal, they wanted 50 million. We agreed at 45 million. For Zinchenko, they wanted 35 million. It's looking like 30 million will be enough. Obviously, back in the day, let's not talk about the likes of Nasri and stuff. Back in the day, we are giving them a lot of players, but you do have a good relationship. I know it's mostly because of Mikel Arteta and Guardiola, so that definitely helps. I mean, why not try another player? You never know. I mean, they've given us 2 players. Why not try a third player? It's looking like Man City are willing to sell their players this summer transfer window, and they're looking to bring in the likes of Cucurella. They've brought in Phillips, Haaland. City are trying to change a few things. We've even been linked to Sane from Bayern Munich. If you sign Sane, I think I'll throw a YouTube party. Sane at Arsenal, I'll throw a YouTube party, man. So it's looking very good for us. A third player that I'd want for Man City is Bernardo Silva, but that would cost you 100 million, man. That would cost you a lot of money. Great news, says Salah. Donda says hello to you. Good news today, Simon from Nigeria. Thank you. Zinchenko is a very neat player and he's very good in pass accuracy. I really like him, very humble and clever, says Evans. Yeah, the humble part I definitely agree with. He's one of those players who are not too fancy with stuff, just like the likes of N'Golo Kante and all those guys. It's really rare to find these days. Joe says that's great. 1 or 2 more to go, and we are ready for the seasons. Kudos at Stene. Do I think we'll get 2? I think we'll get 2 more. The only issue is when are we going to get them? Are we going to get them before the season starts? I believe even after Zinchenko, we are going to get at least 1 more signing before the season starts. And then the other one or the other one signing will probably be after the season has already started. And then I wouldn't be surprised if we throw in a loan deal somewhere. I wouldn't be surprised if we sign someone on loan, like at the end of the transfer window, something, 9-month loan spell or something like that. Abdul says good, but we need more wingers. People have always been saying that. I actually don't think is having a winger our main problem. I've never ever thought that, really. Like the moment the season ended like this, I knew what we wanted was 2 strikers, a couple of midfielders, central midfielders, and maybe a left back. That is what I was thinking. Like a winger was not even in my top 5 list. Listen, if you give me Rafinha, if you give me Gnabry, I'd definitely take them. They would improve our team even more. But you cannot go for those kind of players before you sort out our midfield. So Abdul wants a winger, but I don't think it makes sense to go for a winger first before we get midfielders. Saka has been our best player the last 3 seasons. We don't need a replacement for Saka right now. We need someone to play in midfield first. Even if we go into next season without a winger, we already have Saka. Marquinhos has been signed. If Pepe stays, Martinelli, Smith Rowe, those guys, Fabio Vieira is in. I don't think that is a major problem. I don't think winger is our major problem. Yes, Saka does need someone to help him, but you've already signed Marquinhos, and if Pepe stays and improves his game, Martinelli is there. I mean, I don't think that is a major issue. But in midfield, though, if Partey gets another injury, we are in a lot of trouble again. And this is a very difficult season because of the World Cup. There's a lot of games at the beginning of the campaign, like August, September. You're playing 5 games in August. Usually we play 3 games and then there's like an international break. This time you're playing 5. There is no international break until like October. So we have like 10 to 15 games straight without an international break. Thursday, Sunday, Thursday, Sunday. We are going to be playing games like that. The moment Partey gets an injury again, I don't know, even right now, we want even players like Xhaka and Elneny to be fit throughout. You can't afford any injuries because even if Xhaka goes away from that midfield with the 3-game suspension, we are in trouble once again. So I really need everyone fit and we need midfielders. Tielemans is the guy I want immediately. If we can get him before the end of July, I'd be very happy. I still believe you're going to get him, 75%. I believe you're going to get him. Good news, says Paul. Linus says, you're with me. Great news, says Dashi. What about Tielemans, says Emmanuel? We are still waiting for it. I mean, his house is up for sale. Maybe they're still waiting for someone to buy it. Let's just be as positive as possible. Niall, how are you, man? Big ups. This is what we want, says Simon. Exactly. We want deals to be done as quickly as possible. Yesterday, Arsenal wants Zinchenko. The next day, Zinchenko deal agreed. The next day, medical. That is how we want our deals to be done because the season starts in less than 3 weeks. And you know that team we are playing against, Crystal Palace away, that is not an easy game. You have to go there as ready as possible. Vieira's second season, you saw what they did to us last season. I think it was 3-0 or something. We cannot afford to lose like that at the beginning of the campaign. Great news, says Fukela. Good news from Alimani as well. Good job, says hi. So you guys, are you excited by Zinchenko? Because for example, Jesus, when you sign Jesus, people are very excited. excited as the way you are when we signed Gabriel Jesus? Are you as excited? Do you think Zinchenko will change the direction of the team? Do you think he'll improve the team that much? He's about to turn 26 this year, so he's very experienced. Probably nothing can go wrong. What can go wrong? People have been saying, well, he's been sitting on the bench at Man City. No, man. Man City have a lot of players. Like, you can take Salah to Man City, he can even sit on the bench. Like, that Man City team is crazy. Our best players, Saka and Odegaard, if they go to Man City, they might not play. If you take Bruno Fernandes from Man United, their best player, he might not play. I'm not even joking. Even if you take Ronaldo to Man City, he might not play with Haaland there. Even if you take Robertson from Liverpool and you take him to Man City, he might not play with Cancelo there. Like, that Man City team is very, very good. Those guys are winners. So good. When did I read that too? Sorry, Victor. Victor says, "Good morning. How are you guys? Hope we are doing well. Hope we are okay. Thank you. Hope you're well." The quizman says, "Niall, when that deal is finally done, I will completely forget about Lisandro." Yeah, I've already forgot about him. Yes, I'm not gonna say Lisandro Martinez is a terrible player because he's not joined Arsenal. No, he's still a good player. But Premier League experience always comes first. That's why I've even been saying, even if you give me Pookie right now as a backup striker, I'd take him because he's played in the Premier League for 2 years and he's scored goals for a very poor Norwich side. Like, any player that has played in the Premier League, he's experienced, he's played against those defenders, against those strikers, well and good. Who's coming to learn the league? Man City is now giving back to us because we really gave them a lot. Example, Clichy, Sanya, Nasri. We can go on and on. There is Adebayo. There is Kolo Toure. There's a lot, man. David Seaman played for Man City. There's a lot of players who've moved from Arsenal to Man City. We cannot even count them. Who made that to become champions of the Premier League? That is true. I think Nasri scored one of the final goals and they won the league. How are you, Naomi? Good one for the Ghana, says winner. Good morning. Thanks for the great job. I appreciate it. Olatayo. Good news. Francis from Sierra Leone, thank you. Good news, says Isaac. A lot of people are happy. Olatunji says, nice one. This is very different from last season. Now, I still believe that the last two transfer windows we've done well, apart from January because we didn't sign anyone. But the last two transfer windows we've done well. Ramsdale was a good buy. Tomias was a good buy. Odegaard was a good buy. I know Tavares didn't really live up to the expectations, but he's still young. If he goes out on loan and then comes back, you never know. Lokonga, still need to see more this season. And obviously Ben White. A couple of you don't like Ben White, but I think Ben White is going to have an amazing season this campaign. So last summer when we were signing Ramsdale, what people were saying was, the response was, why are we signing Ramsdale from Sheffield United? This guy just got relegated. Why the hell are we signing him? This time round, Jesus has signed, people are happy. Zinchenko signed, people are happy. So it's great to see. Nice one, says Olatunji. Niall says that's a real statement signing for Arsenal. I hope they get Tielemans. I know that Paquet is a two-way battle between Arsenal and Newcastle. Yeah, Newcastle these days. Who knew, man? Who knew Newcastle would be a threat this much in the transfer market? Paul says, good morning, Gunners. Grateful for us, says De Conti. And we have to get these players. Even after Zinchenko, if you get Tielemans, you still need another 2 players because teams are improving. Remember, Chelsea, the last 2 days, they've signed Sterling and Koulibaly. The last 2 days. Man United have just announced Eriksen yesterday and Lisandro Martinez. I mean, they're announcing players, so you need to improve your squad. Tottenham already did most of their business at the beginning of the transfer window. So if they're improving, we also need to improve. That's the only way you can get top 4. And this season, I really want us to win that Europa League this season. We've been there for so long without winning. I really need us to win that trophy. Grateful for us. Great news, says Simon. Number 3 from Uganda. Thank you, Emmanuel. Do you think we will sign more players? Yeah, another 2 players at least, Mustafa. Good news, Mohammed. There is no way we can go into next season without another midfielder. There is absolutely no chance. I wouldn't believe that. There is no chance. A winger, we might not. But Fabrizio Romano yesterday confirmed that Arsenal are going to sign a winger. Arsenal are in talks to sign a winger. 1 week ago, he said Arsenal are in talks with the winger, but I'm not going to talk about him right now. This is what he said. Arsenal are in talks with the winger, but I'm not going to talk about it right now until I'm sure. That is what Fabrizio Romano said. So we are still talking about a winger. So the guys who want a winger, we are probably still going to sign a winger. We don't know who. We've been talking about Asensio, Noah Lang, all these guys. It might be another different guy who We don't expect. Imagine if he signs Zaha. Oh my goodness, that would just be crazy. Happy to see him at the Emirates, says Camille. I think he should play five for us. Play five for us. Do you mean like a back five? Says Yusuf. How many players are we going to say from Arsenal? How many players we need to sign for us? How many players we need to sign? I still think we need a midfielder. I still thought we needed a backup. For me, a midfielder and a backup striker. That is what I'd go for. I wouldn't be going for a winger. I think we need a backup striker. But it's looking like since we gave Ketia, they cannot give a player the number 14 shirt and you give him 100K a week and then you not play him. I think Arteta really wants to play him next season. So we are probably going to see Ketia next season more than we've ever seen him. And I'll not be surprised if we see him playing with Jesus a couple of times together. We have a friendly match tonight against Everton. We could see it today. We have another one on Wednesday night against Orlando City, another one next weekend against Chelsea. We might see us playing with Jesus and Ketia a couple of times. Maybe Jesus on the right and this guy up, Ketia up front, and then Saka on the left. We might see that formation happening. How good do you think that deal is, says Joel? Very, very good. 30 million for a Man City player. That is no joke. As I've said in the other videos, Man City, like I don't think there's anyone Man City can sell for less than 50 million. They were asking for 50 million from Nathan Ake from Chelsea. 50 million. Nathan Ake has played like 3 games the last 2 seasons. That is crazy. Like these guys do not even play that much, but they're still worth 50 million. Zinchenko doesn't play that much for Man City, but he's worth like 35 million. If you buy Ederson, you're going to talk about 80 million. De Bruyne at 200 million or something. If you talk about Sterling, he's going to Chelsea for 50 million. If you talk about Haaland right now, you might get him for 200 million. Bernardo Silva, they wanted 100 million from Barcelona for Bernardo Silva. Mahrez, you might be talking 90 million. Like Man City players, if you can get a Man City player for 30 million, I'm very, very happy. So that is how good the deal is, Joel. Those Man City players, those guys are well drilled. They've been winning titles the last 5 seasons. And even if the players who are on the bench, they have that winning mentality because they've been around that environment. It's very different. If you bring someone from Norwich City right now and you bring someone from Real Madrid, if you bring Benzema and Puke and put them in the same situation, you can tell the difference. You can tell one of them has been playing in Champions League finals. If you bring in N'Golo Conte and a guy who's just coming from Lille or something, you can tell N'Golo Conte has been in a World Cup final, a Champions League final. By the way they carry themselves, by the way they interact with people, by the way they react to a situation, you can tell. That's great news, says John. Ishi says, great news. As I said, a lot of people are happy. Need these 3 players in one position, says Gun. And it's looking like that is what Edu have been going for the last couple of years. Even with Willian, even though it didn't work out for us, even Willian could play like 3 different positions. It looked like he couldn't play even one when he was at Arsenal. Ben White, right back, centre back, central midfield. Maybe one day we'll see Ben White playing as a central midfield. Hopefully not, because we are hoping we're going to sign central midfielders. Tomiyasu, right back, centre back. Zinchenko now 3 different positions, 3 up to 4 positions. I'll do a video about that on Zinchenko. Saka can play everywhere, maybe even as a goalkeeper. Smith Rowe can play everywhere. Same with Odegaard on the right side, maybe like Ozil used to do a couple of times, mostly as a number 10, sometimes in a 4-3-3. Jesus. We are signing a lot of players who are versatile, which definitely helps. I remember back in the day when you had players like Clichy could only play as a left back. He couldn't play for you as a centre back or anything like that. Like if someone got injured in like a Senderos got injured, Clichy could not play that role because he was just mainly a left back. Clichy could not play for you as a right back or anything like that. Who else? I mean, Vieira was typically a central midfielder. You couldn't really play Vieira as a number 10 or you play him as a left wing or something or as a left back. Couldn't really work. The last versatile player I really remember from Arsenal that was really good was Monreal. Monreal could play as a centre back, he could play as a left back, maybe even as a left winger in a back 5. He could do all those roles. So it's very important. Look at Man City, Mahrez, Bernardo Silva, Foden. If you watch Man City games, if you watch 10 Man City games, you'll be very lucky to see Foden playing in the same position twice. He can play as a central midfielder next to Rodri. Today he's playing as a number 10. Tomorrow he's on the left side. The next day he's on the right side. The next day he's playing as a false 9. Like, you need those sort of players. This is a good signing. Come on, Ghana, says Jackson. Evan says Arsenal need Lucas Paqueta. That guy is a finished article. Very impressive and very skillful. Creative. I was impressed with his finishing. They said Arsenal are going to make a bid before the end of the week. Let's see what happens with that one. 60 million euros, though. They want 60 million euros. That is a lot of money. A Mark from Nigeria living in Queensland. I appreciate it. I'm desperate to hear from Tielemans' update. I'm desperate as well, man. But I'm still confident that you're going to sign him. I don't know what's taking too long. But I'm sure if you remain just a bit patient, maybe you're going to hear about this one. I'm trying to be patient as well because this would be a great signing for us. One more, even better, if you end up getting players like Paquet and Milinkovic-Savic, just a central midfielder, please. One more to go before the season starts, Francis from Sierra Leone. Just one more. I think we still need two more. Great news. I don't sleep without Arsenal updates from Uganda. Thank you, Emmanuel. The one before the season starts, I don't think it's enough because if it would have been enough, let me tell you, if Tierney was not injury prone and Partey is not injury prone, there's no chance we would have been talking about getting a backup left back, getting a midfielder. Like if Tierney was playing all 38 games, Tierney is right up there with Robertson as the best left backs in the Premier League. Recently, the likes of Cucurella have come in. But if Tierney was always fit, we would have not been talking about getting a left back right now. We would have been talking about getting maybe another winger, another striker. If Partey was always fit, we would not be talking about getting midfielders. The problem is the injuries and also the form of Tavares and Lokonga. If Lokonga came in and hit the ground running right away and Tavares came in and became the next Tierney, we would not have been talking about defenders right now. We would not be talking about Martinez because Saliba's come back. We now have Saliba, Gabriel. We also have White, Holding. Pablo Mari is still here, but I think he's going to go. We have enough defenders as of now. If you add one, I'm not going to complain, but that is not a bad position to like try and sort out right now. Gabriel, White, and Saliba can help us, and Tomiyasu can play in that role as well. But if those guys were always fit, we'd not be talking about these guys. I would agree with you, Francis. One more player, if the likes of Tierney are not injury prone. Great news, says Akinyemi. We need to sell. Ashton says we need to sell. We have bought, but we need to sell. Signings are fun, but look at the financial state of Barcelona and Everton. Ashton, I'm going to talk about that in two different points. One is we are definitely going to sell. Right now, we have 30. The players who travel to USA are 33 players. If you add Zinchenko into that, that is 34. And then a couple of players who didn't. Is there anyone who didn't travel? I don't think so. But if you add the youngsters, the Patinos and all those guys, we have a squad of 40 players. That is way too much. You only need like 26 players to start a season. So I'm not exaggerating. I do expect us to sell our loan out and sell up to 10 players from now, between now and August. Usually they will get all these deals done, sometimes getting players. I think 2 seasons ago, there's a January, I think before COVID, that's January. I think we were getting rid of players fast and then signing players later, which I don't think is a great idea unless you're trying to build up the budget. You have to sign your players fast and then get rid of your players, because if you can't just sell Saka right now and then you vigorously try and get another player as quickly as possible. You have to buy players fast. I prefer that. Buy players fast and then sell later. Now, there's a time that will come, maybe at the end of July or even after the season starts. You will hear on Monday, this player is gone. And then Tuesday, we are talking about another player leaving. On Wednesday, we are talking, I'm very sure, I'm expecting up to 10 players to go. The ones that I'm 100% sure will leave are Torreira. I wouldn't even start him as I did in the predicted lineup. I don't see why we need to play someone like a Torreira in one of those preseason matches. The preseason matches are there for you to plan for next season, not to play players who are going to leave. So I'm not sure why Torreira traveled. But I do understand you can't just leave him back at home. I do understand that. You can just leave him back at home. He didn't do anything wrong to Arsenal or anything like that. So Torreira will leave. Bellerin, I'm 95% sure he will leave. Ranasson, 100% sure he will leave. Did I talk about Pablo Mari? Pablo Mari, 100% he will leave. There's a lot of players. Niles could leave. Pepe, Athletic said yesterday, Pepe will definitely leave. There's Nelson who could go out on loan. There's a lot of players, man. We don't know if Jacques is going to stay. Tavares will go out on loan. Those are like almost 10 players already. Holding, is he going to be here? I'm literally expecting 10 players to leave Arsenal, so we'll definitely do that. That is the first point. The second point is, you just said we need to sell. I'm sure Arsenal want to sell, but the truth is, the team that we're building right now, in the future, we can get money for them. But the team that we've had, we are struggling to sell. That is just the truth. The last 5 years, the players that we've had, no one wanted to buy them. There was no one who was going to buy Kolasinac. There was no one who was going to ever buy Mkhitaryan. There was no one who was going to buy Willian. There was no one who was going to buy Mustafi, all those guys. And it's funny that you got rid of all those players, the likes of Lichtsteiner, but you still have another like 5 to 10 remaining. Like Holding, Chambers left as well. Holding, when you sell Holding, how much can we get for him? I don't think we can get more than 5 million for Holding. If we sell Pepe, as I said, we can't get more than 20 million for Pepe. That is what Sevilla were saying the other day. I think I have an article here. This was 2 days ago. So that is Paqueta. Don't worry, we will use that picture someday. This was about Pepe the other day. Sevilla are interested. Let me remove that on screen. Sorry, Sevilla are interested in Nicolas Pepe, but would need the player's price salary to be lowered. So before teams buy players from Arsenal, they want the deal to be lowered from 25 million to 18 million for Pepe. There is a player we signed for 72 million. If you go to Niles, I can't believe we refused to take 25 million from Wolves for Niles. 25 million 2 years ago. I would have taken that a long time ago. So all the players that we have right now, 5 to 10 players, the ones that we want to sell, no one really wants to buy them. So in the next 1 year, after all these players have gone, after Elneni's contract is over, after Holding has gone, after Niles has gone, then the players that we'll have remaining will give us the money the day we'll come to sell them. If someone wants to buy Martinelli, 80 million. If someone wants to buy Saka, 100 million. If someone wants to buy Smith Rowe, pay up 60 million. Odegaard, pay up 60 million. Like, we'll have players who are worthy in the market. Right now, we still have players that are not that worthy in the market. We want to sell them, but no one wants to buy them. So yes, we do need to sell. I'm pretty sure they want to, even Bellerin, the likes of Bellerin. Real Betis wants Bellerin, but they don't want to pay the money because they don't feel like he's worth paying the money for. That is a huge problem. We still need an attacking midfielder and one winger and a striker, says Segun. Thank you. Any update on adding a defensive midfielder? I don't think we'll add a defensive midfielder, especially after Elneny signed a new contract. I don't think we will. Oyewole says we don't have a winger problem for now. I do agree with you. I don't think wingers are a problem at all. Saka has been solid for us for 3 years in a row. A back won't be back. A back won't be back anyway. We are moving forward already. I'm happy. What is going on with Paqueta? Still waiting. I think negotiations are still going on. The caller saying Zinchenko is a good addition, but we still need Yuri and a good backup for Partey and another striker to support Jesus because Kamak is still available. So as I just said Sunday, I think that is why Nketiah has remained and signed a new contract. I think Arteta is going to use Nketiah as a main striker next season, not as many times as Jesus, but you're going to see him a lot next season. So I don't think they'd go on and buy. I think it would be pretty unfair if we give Nketiah a new contract and promised him to play, and then we sign 2 strikers in Jesus and another one, and then just leave Nketiah on the bench again. That would be pretty unfair. We rather just would have sold him then, because I don't see the point of giving him the number 14 shirt and all that. And I think, to be fair to Nketiah, the last 10 games I've seen him playing for us, he's quite impressed me. In the last few games of the Premier League, and even in these 2 preseason games, he's been okay. He scored a hat-trick against Ipswich and even against Nuremberg in that second half. He didn't score, but he was those 2 goals that we scored, like that own goal and the Jesus goal, it mainly came from Nketiah's ones. The thing I like about Nketiah is not he doesn't just stay in one position. He runs around. He can come into midfield, run around with the ball. He has a bit of pace in behind the defender. So maybe he will grow on me. I was one of those guys who was saying sell Nketiah, but maybe he'll grow on me. He started to grow on me, so let's see how he does next season. Let's see, bro, for the good luck. Thank you. There's 3 more players to go. 3 more players. We might get 2 and then maybe 1 on loan. A DM and a striker and a winger if possible. That is because I'm expecting us to get rid of like 10 players. So not right. 40 players is a lot. We have close to 40 players right now. We even have 5 goalkeepers. What the hell do we have 5 goalkeepers for? 5. If KJ Hine comes back, that is 6 goalkeepers that we have. For what? Like, that is crazy. Like, if you have 5 goalkeepers in your squad, we should keep a clean sheet in every single game because we have a lot of options. But Ranasson, not good enough. Leno wants to go. Ramsdale, definitely our first choice goalkeeper. He just signed a new backup in March Turner. The first game he played, he didn't really impress a lot of people. So Okonkwo is a youngster. 5 goalkeepers, but how many of them are quality? That has been the problem. So hopefully in the next 1 year, we do sort out all these problems that we have. Any player from Man City is an asset to us. They have winners mentality, simple. It's an asset to anyone, I believe. If you take anyone from Man City to the United squad, they play every day. If you take anyone, even if you take a Man City player to Liverpool, maybe the likes of Salah and Van Dijk, it would be hard to overhaul. But De Bruyne comes in instead of Thiago straight away. Foden can easily come in for Henderson straight away. On the left side now, the money is gone. If you bring in the likes of, it's just because Sterling has gone. But Haaland starts for Liverpool as a striker 100%. Ederson, Alisson, depends on who you like better. Some would say Ederson starts ahead of Alisson. Cancelo could easily start ahead of Robertson. Diaz starts ahead of Konate and all those guys. Like, City are a very good team. If you take 5 or 6 of their players, they go straight into the Liverpool squad. And to be honest, if you take all 11 of their players, they go straight into the Arsenal team, straight into the Man United team, straight into the Tottenham team. Those guys are very, very good. Joseph says, well done. I love this guy is good. I appreciate it. Joseph, he's talking about Zinchenko, by the way. He's not talking about me. I'm not that good. Zinchenko is the one that he's talking about. Alimami says Arsenal need more midfielders likes of Tielemans. That is the guy I want. Emmanuel says, what time Arsenal is going to play against Everton? Are you going to do a show? I'm going to do a show before. And after, I'm not going to do, I'm going to see, it's going to be like very early in the morning. I'm sure in Europe and Africa, like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. How many guys will be up watching? It's Saturday though, so that's good. The game will start in the next 13 hours. So exactly 13 hours from now, the game will be starting. And I will be live an hour before that with the team news. I think if you're in Nigeria, it will be like 12 or something, midnight, same with UK. If you're like East African, something 2 a.m., 1 a.m. around that. I'll schedule it like 2 hours before. Hopefully, guys are awake for that one. Obviously, you can't miss an Arsenal game. Come on. Jamie says we need Tielemans. It's Saturday. Mohammed, I'm in Dubai. Thank you. Arsenal, this season is our season. Hopefully. Oh, I really hope so, man. Update on Tielemans, says Alatoya. We were told he's going to sell his house. His house is half for sale in Leicester. Like, we have agreed everything with Tielemans. Something tells me there's no chance we are not going to sign Tielemans. There is no chance. Man United and Tottenham wanted him, and they were told this guy has already agreed everything with Arsenal. We were told that mentally, Tielemans is already an Arsenal player. There's nothing can possibly go wrong unless he fails the medical or something, or there's something in the background that we don't know about. But I really doubt. I really don't know. There has to be something though. Like, we can't agree everything and then we don't sign him. We just wait. What are we waiting for? Like, everyone usually wants to get the players in as quickly as possible for preseason. So there has to be something, but hopefully they sort it out behind the scenes. I'm still confident that you're going to get him. Good news for Arsenal, says Adebayo. Yunusa says we need Tielemans in our midfield. A lot of people want Tielemans. I'm one of you guys. Tielemans would have been the first guy I would have signed in this transfer window. That's how much I like him. Still want to hear from Tielemans. I have done that. What we need now is Paqueta. A lot of people are talking about midfielders. Good move, but we need Tielemans. So I had asked before, by the way, if you've not hit the like button yet, kindly hit the like button. I'll really appreciate it. Yeah, hit the like button if you're happy with Zinchenko joining Arsenal. I did ask on YouTube, which position would you like to see Zinchenko playing the most? Is it left back, left wing, or central midfield? 48% of you have said left back, 30% have said central midfield, and 22% have said left wing. So if you're watching on Facebook, let me know which position do you think we need Zinchenko playing the most? Is it left back or central midfield? You can play up to 5 positions, but I'll do a separate video on that one. Owal says, good news. I think Zinchenko deal is done, right? Says, Boo. I don't think there's anything that is going to fail now. It's probably only the medical and personal terms. Personal terms, there is a 5% chance personal terms are not going to be agreed. That's just basically how much are we going to pay you per week. That is something interesting, though. As I said on the video, how much are we going to be paying him per week? Because since Aubameyang and Lacazette left, and if Pepe leaves, I think Jesus is now our highest paid player right away. If Zinchenko joins, how much is he going to be paid per week? This guy is a captain for his country. He's won a lot of titles with Man City. How much is he going to be paid per week? Are we talking about more than 100,000? Is he going to be right up there with Jesus in terms of salary? Is it going to be 80,000? That's going to be interesting. In terms of how long he's going to be at Arsenal, that's not hard to agree on. 4 or 5 years, great. He's still 25 years. He's approaching his prime, so we still have another 4 or 5 years to get out of him. If he stays at Arsenal, that would be great. So Very, very good signing for me, this guy. It's almost done for sure. But I'm so happy. This is great news. He's a good player. We still need more players, definitely. I think Edu didn't go to USA, and he said he's going to be working on transfer, so that is good. Back then, Man City come to Arsenal and buy good and quality players, but now Arsenal are the ones who are buying players from City. Yeah, things you'll have to see. Life no balance. We still need a backup striker and a midfielder. Please, Edu should do something. A backup striker and a midfielder. I think we'll get a midfielder. A backup striker, I've not been linked to anyone, you know. I think they will get a winger instead. For me, I'd get a backup striker, but I think they'll get a winger instead. I mean, these days, wingers score a lot of goals. The likes of Salah and Man and all those guys, even Saka, those guys score a lot of goals for wingers. So if you can get a winger who can score the goals for you, and you depend on Jesus and Keita to get the other goals, and if you'll have a good season, if Saka contributes the same as he did last season, like double figure assists and goals, and then Smith Rowe chips in like he did last season, coming from the bench, scoring goals. Martinelli does the same when he starts. Odegaard can get in with a 10 assists and maybe 5 to 6 goals. Fabio Vieira gets maybe 4 goals and another 6, 7 assists. And then you get a couple of goals from midfield from Thomas Partey, like 3. And then, I mean, when he starts shooting on target, obviously, that's when you'll get 3 goals. If Gabriel scores another 5 goals from defense, if Ben White scores his first Arsenal goal, if Tomiyasu scores his first Arsenal goal, like if you have contributions from everywhere, then we probably wouldn't need a backup striker. But the problem is you have to think about injuries and all the competitions. Olawale says, thanks for the update. Great news, but please, who would you love Arsenal to buy between Milinkovic-Savic, Tielemans, and Paqueta? Wow, that has put all 3 players in the same list. Dirty, you're being very dirty to me. Between Milinkovic-Savic, Tielemans, and Paqueta, I'd still get Tielemans because of the Premier League experience. He scores goals, he's good defensively, he's good at in terms of providing assists, the way he does for Belgium. Very, very good. In terms of, if you want to go to the next step, Tielemans has the Premier League experience, and that puts you up above everyone else, that experience of the Premier League. But the dream signing would be Milinkovic-Savic, obviously. I mean, those stats from last season, like, do I still have that? I think I still have that graphic from that guy, Milinkovic-Savic, like the kind of number of goals he scored. Yeah, here it is for those guys who've not seen it before. Those contributions from Milinkovic-Savic last season, those are crazy. Someone who can score 11 goals and 11 assists from midfield, oh my goodness. If we get someone like that at Arsenal, we had no chance we are not going to finish in the top 4. Those are crazy contributions. Through balls, like final third passes, very good attacking. Duels won, very good in challenging other midfielders. Aerial duels, he can win aerial battles against those tall midfielders. Tackles made when you're under attack, he can make the tackles for you. Chances created, it's great. All that is great. But I think not having the Premier League experience, I mean, you can have all that. I mean, you can ask the likes of even Lukaku. Lukaku has played in the Premier League before, but he's just come back and he's found the Premier League is very different, and he's had to go back to Italy. There's a lot of players who've come back. I can't remember any at the moment, but there's a lot of players who've come in from outside, especially Spain and France, and they've had it very tough. One is our own player. Ask Nicolas Pepe. Again, don't tell me Nicolas Pepe has never had a chance. Nicolas Pepe has played 116 games for Arsenal. He has had a chance. We have seen 3 seasons. How many? He was very good. I'm telling you right now, if Pepe goes back to Lille, he'll score 30 goals. And you'd ask yourself, is this the same player we had at Arsenal? So that Premier League experience is very enough, and I think that puts everyone above Tielemans above them. But if you're ignoring the Premier League experience, I'd get Milinkovic-Savic because that is just, those numbers are crazy. 11 goals and 11 assists from a midfielder. Good news for Gunners if the signing happens, says Elvis. The signing will happen. Don't worry about that. Eddie says good news. Hi mates, how are you? Chris, hope you're well. Great news. I can't wait to see Zinchenko in our team, says Vincent. So the other question is, do you think if Zinchenko, when Zinchenko joins Arsenal, do you think he's a first team player, or do you think he comes from the bench? Do you think he starts for us, or do you think he comes from the bench? Again, that depends on which position he's playing. Good news, he will be a great addition. Good news next, Lucas Paqueta live from Uganda. Thank you, Daniel. Arsenal still need to improve in defensive midfield and central midfield. I think we'll get a central midfielder. Defensive midfield, I don't think so, unless I've just said the third extra player could be a loan deal or something. We might end up getting a defensive midfielder on loan. that could happen. We still have around 130 million to spend. That is a lot of money, man. And Zinchenko is only 30. That means we'll have another 90 million to spend. Abu says, good. Nice to have him in the Arsenal team, says Abidemi. Jacob says, I'm very glad to see him. The likes of Pepe, Lucas Torreira, Cedric, Bellerin, Nelson, Lokonga, Niles, maybe Lon Balogun. That's another one I forgot. Balogun will also go out and non. Fabrizio Romano already confirmed it. Keep up the good work. Benson watching from Dubai, I appreciate it. Now, Cedric, I think Cedric will stay. There's a chance he could leave, but I don't think he had a disaster like people made it look like. I don't think he was a disaster. I don't think he cost us 5 to 10 goals when he came in for Tomiyasu or something like that. The only ones I can remember, maybe 2 goals, maybe, and that is just reaching. I don't think he had a disaster. Obviously, you can 100% improve on Cedric, but if Cedric remains, I wouldn't say, oh my goodness, why is Cedric remaining? Arteta out. Nah, I'm not going to say that. Cedric can play as a right back and a left back, and he usually does help us in that left back situations because Tierney gets injured a lot and Tavares wasn't on form, and we had to use Cedric as a left back a couple of times as an emergency. So Cedric is there for emergency situations, and he does take a good corner once in a while. Alex says, don't you think Niles is a better cover for Tomiyasu in any position? I would want to keep him if given a chance. He can be that important, says Alex. It all depends if he wants to stay at Arsenal. That's the other thing. He's very versatile. I mean, left wing back, right wing back, central midfield, right back. But then we've always had maybe doesn't want to play as a right back, all that. To be fair, it depends on how much we are given. If someone comes in right now and tell me 18 or 15 to 18 million for Niles, Alex, I would sell him. I'm so sorry. I would sell him right away. If we're given enough money, I'd sell him. If no one gives us enough money, if people start offering 8 million or 9 million, I'd keep him because of what you said. He's versatile and he can play for us different roles. So I don't think it's a disaster to keep him. I still think the last time he played for us against Watford, he was great. And the last time we saw him playing as a left wing back in the FA Cup semi-final and final, he did great. So Paradise says, what about Tielemans? I've talked about him. How about trying Kante? I'm sure Tuchel will allow him to leave. When Chelsea allow players to leave for Arsenal, you have to just ask yourselves very many questions. Should we go through it again? William Gallas, Petr Cech, Willian, David Luiz. I can give you one bad thing that all of those players did. Cech made a couple of mistakes on his debut. Gallas was our captain and he started crying when we lost a game against Birmingham. We should have won the title that season, 2007-2008. Gallas was just he was wearing the number 10. Why the hell was Gallas Arsenal's number 10? I still need to ask Arsene Wenger that. David Luiz broke the record of giving away the most penalties in a season. He gave away 5 penalties in one season. Willian, should we even talk about him? When Chelsea let players go to Arsenal, you have to ask yourselves a lot of questions. Look at the players we gave them. Ashley Cole, he went there and he won them even more trophies. And then the other thing I don't like, we should have signed N'Golo Kante in 2016. Not Granit Xhaka. It should have been N'Golo Kante. But N'Golo Kante over the last 2 years, N'Golo Kante has picked up too many injuries, man. I do not want Kante to come to Arsenal and then he gets us injured as more than Thomas Partey. Kante has gotten so many injuries, so no. If it were back in 2016, Alex, yes. Now, no. If they give you N'Golo Kante, you have to ask yourself questions. Zinchenko, I think you can get better players than Kante right now. Right now, he's not the best midfielder in the world. 6 years ago, he was. 5 years ago, he was. Right now, I believe he can get more players who can help you for the next 5 years. If N'Golo Kante comes in, he can help you for 1 year or something. Zinchenko will be a great addition to our team. I really love how Arsenal have handled this at the window so far, says Brighton. Brighton is happy. Some people are not happy about Arsenal losing out on Rafinha and those guys. Left back says Olatayo. But the thing with Rafinha didn't want to join Arsenal. He didn't want to go to Chelsea. He wanted to go to Barcelona. And Lisandro Martinez wanted to go to his former manager. So the only player you can really say we've lost out on is Bissouma, who went to Tottenham. But we really never wanted him, so we never lost him. The fans wanted Bissouma. We've never really had that wanted Bissouma. So to be honest, we've not even lost any player this transfer window. The players that have gone to Man United is because of their manager, Ten Hag, and Rafinha didn't want to join any of the two teams. He wanted to go to Barcelona. So we've not really been outbid or maneuvered or something in the transfer window yet, no. Arsenal fan from Uganda, William Saliba ready contract renewal, says Hillary. I think Saliba's already signed a new contract, but they will take a couple of weeks to announce it. Right now, we are talking to Saka about a new contract. I'm 98% convinced Saka will sign a new contract. There is no chance he's going to refuse a new contract. Because Saka knows, if you're a youngster at the age of Saka right now, Saka knows every Arsenal fan loves him. He knows how much he's loved in England. If at the moment he just says, no, I do not want to sign a new contract at Arsenal, I'm going to Chelsea. Can you really do that? And then you just change everyone's opinion on you? Because when you do that, 100% of Arsenal fans will hate you. Because he's very young, he's only 20. You can do that when you're 26, 27, or like Van Persie, later years when you've already done everything for that team and you don't really care. You're in the later part of your stage of your career. But someone like a Saka or a Foden says, I don't want to stay at Man City, I'm going to Man United. Oh, you're going to be hated by your own fans. I don't think Saka can just say, no, I want money. I think Saka wants to play for Arsenal. That's the good thing. So I don't think we have to give him 200,000 a week. But right now, he's paid way too little. Saka is one of the lowest paid players at Arsenal. Like Torreira and Bellerin are paid more money than Saka. That is a problem. We need to give him more money. He should be earning at least 100K a week, not 30,000 per week. That is too little. So giving him 3 times his contract right now, he'll definitely accept it. That's great for Arsenal, says Senior. So probably at the end of this month, we'll hear about Saka announcement. And last summer, I gave our transfer window, I think, 8 out of 10. If we sign Zinchenko and sign Tielemans and get a winger, and then we give Saka and Saliba a new contract, I am very, very tempted to give it 9.5 out of 10. It would be a 10 out of 10 if we signed a backup striker. I'd give this transfer window a 10 out of 10 because I'm expecting players to leave. Prince says, this is great news, but we need addition in central midfield. Jude says, let him just come fast. Solomon says, please sign Tielemans before Zinchenko. Oh, really? That won't happen. Zinchenko will probably join Arsenal by Monday. Left back says deep, so you want to see Zinchenko as a left back. What's delaying Arsenal buying Tielemans? Absolutely no idea, Solomon, but there has to be something they're not telling us. Our right back position is Hawari. You really think so? I'm sure if Tomiyasu is going to last. I'm not sure if Tomiyasu is going to last. Our right back, I don't think our right back is. By the way, the funny thing is that right now, we have like 100 right backs at Arsenal. Cedric, Niles, Tomiyasu, Bellerin. We have so many. Ben White can play as a right back, but not many of them are good enough. I know, I understand that, but I don't think right back is. We can survive with Tomiyasu and Cedric as our right backs. I don't think we can survive with Thomas Partey as our only midfielder. So you have to look at your problems first. As I said, you have to look at your car engine first before you look at your tire rims. You have to look at your engine. If your engine doesn't work, you work on that one first. If your tires don't work, you work on that one first before replacing your windows. That's what you do. You go for the important things first. Kakwezi says, let him help Tini. Okay, on the left side, please. We also need Tielemans, says Pateas. Signing Zinchenko is a plus. He's more experienced in the Premier League than Lisandro Martinez. So I'm pretty sure Zinchenko will 100% be welcome to Arsenal. From everyone's opinions, we need him to start. I'm not happy that we are losing Hutchinson. I know, man. I don't know why he's going to Chelsea. I have no idea. I thought he was our most promising youngster alongside Patino. Like, I do follow the under-23s, and I did say Balogun, Hutchinson, Patino were going to be the ones to break through into the first team next, and then followed by Aziz, and then maybe Biereth, the striker, and then a couple of defenders like Walters, who's been picked right now, and a lot of players have left, but we've seen KJ Hine and Okonkwo coming from the under-23s as well. But Hutchinson leaving Arsenal for Chelsea, that is crazy. We have a youngster who's just left for Chelsea. I don't understand. He's a very good player, and then the worst thing is that he's going to go to Chelsea. They're going to keep him for 1 year, and then they're going to send him on loan to Bournemouth, and then he's going to do badly there, and then they're going to sell him to Rochdale. That is so stupid. Like, I know if he was at Arsenal, he would have gotten the chance, but the worst thing that could happen is for Hutchinson to be the next Gnabry, and he goes on and he becomes a superstar for Chelsea. We'll look into this live stream and cry. KB says, signing. Greetings from Dallas, says RK, thank you. It must be crazy times at Dallas, in like 5 a.m. in the morning. Alex says, I still don't know why we didn't show much interest in Tammy Abraham, says Alex. Tammy Abraham was a good striker. I don't really understand that as well, but I think Roma paid like 45 million or something, and he scored a lot of goals for Roma last season. Ayub says, how about Watkins? Watkins is a very good striker, Ayub, but you'd have to pay 60 million for him, guys. Yeah, when you sign Watkins, Watkins is not a backup striker. You can sign Watkins if you've not signed Jesus for Watkins to come in as your main striker, but as a backup striker, Watkins is not going to come to you unless you 100% guarantee him he's going to start every game, and that is not possible. So when he was at Brentford, I would have signed him because he's a very good striker. But right now, I'm not sure you can afford him. I'm not sure he's going to join us because we're not going to offer him fast team football. Losing Martinez to get Zinchenko is a plus. We can compete with any team in Europe. Really, Isaac, really? I mean, I think we can now compete with Bayern since Lewandowski has left, man. Those guys gave me nightmares. What position does Vieira play? Trying to figure out his correct position alongside Martin. I don't know if you can find it, but there's a video on the page. I talked about the positions that Fabio Vieira can play. There's also a video on YouTube, but just to break it down for you slowly or quickly, he can play as a number 10. He can also play on the left side of midfield, and sometimes he played as a number 9 for FC Porto. But I don't think he's going to play as a number 9 for us. We already have strikers. So the main position is a number 10 next to instead of Odegaard, or he can play on the left side. So if you're playing a 4-3-3, which I expect us to play, if you're playing a home game against the smaller teams, then you can play Partey in midfield and then Odegaard and Fabio Vieira either side of Partey, and then still have Saka, Martinelli, and Jesus on the pitch at the same time. Surely we're not going to finish that game with 0 goals. We are going to score 3 goals plus. So those are the positions you can play. But in the bigger games, like against Liverpool and Man City, I wouldn't expect him to play because I'm expecting us to change formation, maybe to a 4-2-3-1 or a back 5 or something like that. So last season, we tried sticking with our formation, but it didn't work. Against Liverpool and Man City, you can easily concede 5 goals, even if you've won 10 games in a row. Those teams are different. So we saw us winning like 10 games in a row in February and also in December, and then you face Liverpool, and then you don't have the ball at all. We win 10 games in a row, we face Man City, concede 5 goals. So in those games, you have to be very careful. And I don't think we'll see the likes of Fabio Vieira and Smith Rowe playing. That's when now you'll see Zinchenko playing in the same game with Partey and Xhaka in the same game. From Nigeria says Jacob. Live from Nigeria says Timothy. I'm not happy to lose Leno, says KB. We are not happy to lose Leno, but you cannot hold him hostage. He wants to be a fast choice goalkeeper. He's not going to be the fast choice goalkeeper at Arsenal. You just let him go. But Fulham don't want to pay 11 million. If you're not paying 11 million, you're not going anywhere. Because if people are getting, Chelsea are about to get like 40 million for Broya. Man United have gotten, I think, like 30 million or something for Andres Pereira. Players who don't even play. You cannot get Leno for 5 million, surely. No. He's still a very good goalkeeper. That's why I agree with you, KB. But he wants to be a fast-chase goalkeeper, and I think Ramsdale offers a bit more than him in terms of kicking, in terms of leadership, in terms of attitude, man. Ramsdale was just exciting to watch a lot, man. Also, the camera saves that they talk about, a lot of good camera saves. I think his Odegaard understudy. Hope Xhaka is staying. I need a goalkeeper who can... Hope Xhaka is staying. I'll come back to that. If you need a goalkeeper who's going to communicate to the defenders, and Leno is too quiet, that is the only issue I have with him. Too quiet. You need to organize the defenders. Ramsdale, I need that goalkeeper who's going to shout at his defenders and all those guys. Like, just see Buffon back in the day and those goalkeeper Schmeichel from Man United. Hope Xhaka is staying, says Jacob. Wow. I'm not sure a lot of people will agree with your comment, Jacob. But as I said, I don't mind Xhaka staying. If he stays and comes in from the bench, I'll not complain about him. But if you're depending on Xhaka, that is a problem. I think he will stay, though. Alpha says we will still need one more experienced midfielder. Who is our next captain? Says KB, probably Odegaard or Tierney. With this squad, I don't think Xhaka will start. Olawale says, I still believe in the bigger games, like against West Ham away, Chelsea at home. I think Xhaka will definitely start. Most of you would say you don't want him to start, but I think Arteta trusts him in those big games more than you would trust Lokonga or any of those guys. If we play like a Chelsea away, you will still see Xhaka and Elneny and Partey in the same squad, all 3 of them. That is a very huge possibility. I wish we signed Tielemans and Savic to close our transfers this season. If we sign those 2 players, that's a 10 out of 10 transfer window. That is what I would do instead of signing a winger, those 2 players. I want Sane, says Luca. Sane is a lot of money, Luca, but if you get Sane, as I said, I'm going to throw a YouTube party. Sane is a very, very good player, man. I wish you signed Tielemans. Zinchenko, good signing. We need Tielemans, man. Let's have insight on formation and who is going to play in defense. It's like Saliba is here and with Gabriel and Ben White. Alex, just check through the page. There's a lot of videos on that. I wish you signed Tielemans and Savage to close our transfers. Don't worry though, Alex, I'll still do a video about Zinchenko lining up for Arsenal. This season, there are so much players who are out of contract. This season, there are so many players who are out of contract. Why did we go for Diabala? Because he's the right man that will motivate the boys. I don't think we need Diabala. He's better years are past him. Yes, he can still do the job for you, but you need players who are hungry and want to make it now, not players who already made it. That is the problem. When you sign Willian, that is a player who's already made it. He's already won things with Chelsea. He doesn't really care much. Diabala is already, this World Cup, after this World Cup for Argentina, I don't think he'll be that much bothered again. So signing him for Arsenal, yes, it brings the experience, but is that the first signing you want to make? No. And then Diabala will ask for 300,000 a week. Are you going to start him instead of Odegaard? You have to ask a lot of questions when you're signing this kind of players. Like the Diabalas, the Neymars, the Messis, those guys you'll pay 500,000 a week. And that is what you're not trying to do right now. After Ozil and Aubameyang, we are not going to do that again. I don't think Arteta don't want Tielemans. I think it does. Good news, says Pateas. We really need Tielemans. We still need 3 quality players more if you want to compete for the titles. Okay, and I don't think this season we are going into competing for the title unless we do a Leicester. So we're trying to get top 4 again and then win a cup maybe. Next season and the next 2 seasons, then you can start competing for the title. Right now, let's not lie to ourselves. We cannot compete with Man City. With Haaland, I still expect Man City to win the title very easily with 100 points and a lot of goals. So you're not going to compete with them. Also need to prepare for the boys for the big games. I don't like Zinchenko. Wow, this is the first one. Philip says, I don't like Zinchenko. Why, Philip? You can't just say you don't like someone. You have to tell us why. If you give us a reason, then I'm going to read your reason and you're going to see why. I mean, I don't like Zinchenko, says Philip. Wow, that is the first comment. I'm not joking. I've read over 300 comments and that is the first person who said he doesn't like Zinchenko. But Philip, I'm not going to throw away your comment. Just tell us why you don't like Zinchenko. I'm not going to dismiss your comments. I want Zinchenko. We need strong midfield. We need also a strong right back because Bellerin, you never know if he'll stay. He's not going to stay. I think Zinchenko is better for us to sign. Man, we've been going for 57 minutes. Let's read this article one more time. Arsenal and Man City have now reached a verbal agreement in principle for Oleksandr Zinchenko. Fee around 30 million. Personal terms are still discussed. Salary and length of contract in negotiation. Key step to complete the agreement. I'm very sure we'll be back in the next 2-3 hours with more news. But as of now, thank you, Mohamed. I can see your comments saying good business. Isaac says he's one of the best left backs in the Premier League because it's not replacement for cleanings. So Philip says because it's not a good replacement for Tierney. Wow. No, I think Zinchenko is the kind of player. If you sign Grimaldo from Benfica or you sign those left backs that have been linked to, they will not start ahead of Tierney. Zinchenko is one of those players who can come in and very easily remove Tierney from that position. Let's be honest, he can very easily do it. He can come in that midfield and remove Xhaka from that role very easily. As we've seen, players coming from Man City and Liverpool, those guys are no joke, man. Those guys are no joke. And I usually admire players who come from a Champions League team and from a Premier League winning team to a team that finished 5th. I usually admire them because they want to prove themselves more. They want to prove themselves. Usually it's not like signing Willian. I've said Willian so many times in this stream. It's not signing a player like him because this guy still want to achieve more. He's only 25 years of age. So, Philip, we are going to sign Zinchenko. You have to grow into liking him, but I hope he's going to prove you wrong. And I'm 100% sure he's going to prove you wrong. I need Tielemans anytime to join Arsenal. I'm really enjoying this transfer window, says Olawale. It's different, right? It's different because you're signing players early this time round. It's crazy. Zinchenko is fine, says Newton. So again, it's only Philip who's saying he doesn't like Zinchenko. I don't know why, but thank you guys for watching. We'll be back again with more updates. Hit the like button if you haven't. In terms of the poll, I did ask which position do you want to see Zinchenko playing. Most 51% said left back. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.